supposed to wait a certain amount of minutes before we can talk bad shit. I mean, I know there ain't nobody else to listen to right now, but then when they come in, I don't want to be fucking looking for my shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's gonna be plenty to talk about. This week was ridiculous, bro. Ridic you fucking less. Oh, dickless. Mm. You slept through the whole week, huh? Mm. Not me. Not me. This whole week was a good week for me. Well, not really a good week because last week when I broke out in the fucking Ebola virus, so, so I was still trying to treat that this whole week and that shit. I had the I was upset. So today we had a meeting, a conference meeting on Zoom at work or a Teams meeting at work, and my supervisor, she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I see her look at me like, "Oh, because I haven't sported a beard since they met me." And she goes to me, she goes, "Hey, how are you?" I was like, I'm in bad shape." She was like, "I see." I said, "Yeah, I'm letting my face grow because I said, look at all these spots on my face. I'm growing some shit." And she's looking in the computer and she's like, "You got the monkeypox?" And at first I was like, "Wait a minute. Did this bitch just call me a fag?" You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Hold up. Let me rewind this." I was like, "I think you're the second. You know what? I was looking for a second opinion. I got something." I said, "I don't know what's been going on. I don't know what Penny's been doing to my face in the middle of the night, but something's going on." Uh-uh. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. That would imply that I was doing time with Chubby and his friends. No, Mr. Freeway, or is Mike Freeway and he's Highway? I don't know. I don't know. One of them likes it free. The other one likes to get high. I think it's Chubby who likes to get high. Mike just likes it free. Yeah, I know. Listen, if you ask me, they're both fags. I think my sister-in-law is a decoy. You see? Don't choke, nigga. Don't choke to death on this one, all right? No, don't. Because look, first of all, let me just tell you the similarities. Mike and Chubby, they share the same birthday. They're almost the same age. Now, Mike lost his hair. Chubby's is thinning, but he has developed a gap in his teeth from the extracurricular activities. You know what I'm saying? And Mike, I think Mike has gotten bald because gay men in relationships are always worried that one day they're gonna get caught. He could be rubbing all his hairs off. You know what I'm saying? Rubbing them bitches off. Like, yo, she gonna smell my dick one day. What if she give me a reach around? You know what I'm saying? I think the only two cis males here is me and Smokey. Yeah, nigga, I think you're a fag too. Shut up. What are you talking about? You the first fag, nigga. You done turned my brother and my cousin. No, my cousin was turned hard. What they call he was what do they call that shit? He was turned out. That nigga he got toined out. Chubby got toined. He didn't just turn the corner. He got toined on the corner. he got spit roasted on the corner. Oh man, yo, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? We ain't even doing no more intros or nothing. Listen, fuck the bullshit. Okay? I don't got time for the setup and all the bullshit. I do this so we could get together, and if y'all motherfuckers want to join us, get it. How do you join in live? Fuck if I know. You act like I pay attention to this shit. And YouTube, I'm sure you could leave a message, And then if you want to go in with us, I'll email you a link and you can just jump in with us old motherfuckers talking shit. But don't come over here with no butt, nigga. You better butt up. Butt up or shut up. Yep. That was only a week, bro. It's only a week. Listen, YouTube is like real. Okay. So the reason why in New York City we all carry guns is because just like YouTube, you're only going to get stopped for a week. You know what I'm saying? I don't stop talking the shit that I talk. I'm just trying to wait for the certain amount of time to pass so that I can tell YouTube to suck my balls. And I don't even know if that was the time to pass yet, but they can suck my balls. See, the problem is YouTube right now, they're not the only fucking social media shit no more. Fuck that. Steven Crowder made it good to go to fucking Rumble. So fuck YouTube. We are Rumble, but I just don't know how to do. Y'all not listening to me when I say I'm not fucking got time for all this shit, right? I ain't put us up on Rumble yet because I just haven't done it. When I get a chance and I get some time to, right now I'm in a whole bunch of shit at work. Once I get some time, free time, and I feel good, I'll set it up. But you know, I think that we should invite maybe one of Chubby's ex-con friends. See how that plays out online. That'd be great.
Yo, what the fuck?
He is.
Yo, I'm working.
Highway, what you doing, Highway? What you doing?
I had a basketball tournament. So all this week I've been doing basketball tournaments.
Hold up, nigga, you only 2'4". What are you talking about? Basketball tournament? Is this like little leagues?
Okay, well let me explain it to you. The basketball tournaments, I do the DJing, so I don't need to be a certain height to DJ.
Okay.
So that works out for me. You know, that works out for me. So I've been doing the thing. So now I got my car. I got all the equipment in the car. I can't make it to the storage because the storage closes at 8 o'clock. So I got to put the car in the garage and get my big truck.
Oh, okay. So he's doing the
OBB, what's up?
You're doing the Bruce Wayne, change your vehicle.
No doubt. Huh? So listen, I gotta go through all that, but I wanted to make sure I log on because I've been missing a lot of shows, but I've been ripping and running though.
We have been talking some real foul shit about you. You know me, I don't like to talk about people without telling them. Cause but dog,
okay, well listen.
Some real raunchy shit.
Let me call my brother because I got to do the exchange, and then I hit y'all back on my ride home.
All right, listen, just understand, I'm still gonna talk about you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm happy about that. All right.
One.
Peace.
Yeah. All right. I just had to get a little taste of that T52 right quick. Yeah. All right, let me get some marijuanas inside me. Let me get my lights on. Turn on the lights. All right, here we go. All right, so let's talk about. Okay, here goes the first story. I've been getting stories from the Post and AOL. So, somebody else just joined in. Looks like Mikey. Freeway.
What's good?
What's up? Highway was just on. He's got to park. He said he'll be calling back.
That's what's up.
Hopefully. What's going on with you, bro?
I'm chilling. Just getting home.
How was your week?
So far, so good.
All right, well,
it's always good. It's always good, though.
I was going to start talking about some of the stories, but I don't know if you guys want to lead with the dyke with the gripe, or you just want to go into that and we'll talk about the dyke with the gripe later.
Whatever.
Well, did you hear about the Nashville shooting?
Nashville, yeah.
Oh man, I saw the perfect meme. I lost it though. I didn't save it. They somebody had a picture of her body knocked out, superimposed over the twister mat. and there was an award for her being able to touch 5 of the dots at once. It was great. I was like, that's so sad. Well, on this whole thing, let's talk about this because this was supposed to be a girl who's transitioning to a boy who was a former student who did this, right? And now, because she died, tomorrow they're having a Trans Day of Vengeance. You heard about that?
No.
It's called the Trans Day of Vengeance. And they're asking all the trannies to go out and protest and be as belligerent as possible because they have killed one of ours. And they are calling for the big luau, the boogaloo, civil war. Okay? And of course, trannies would be calling for civil war because who wants to fight a tranny, nigga? You know, if you get knocked out, you're getting fucked in the ass. So you don't want to fight them. Better talk that shit out.
Mhm. That's for sure. Stevie, you look like you got some color, Stevie.
Just them ball games he's going to, player.
Did you go today? I can't hear him.
Is your mic up? Can you hear him in the mic?
I can't hear him at all.
Hold on. Let me go work on this. Hold on.
Mm.
Mike, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can. No, I was asking, did you go to the game today?
Say that again?
Now I can't hear him.
Michael?
Yeah,
Yes.
I hear Michael. You don't hear him?
no. Mike, I'm going to Sunday's game against the
Okay.
Mets, Marlins Mets.
Cool.
And I'm taking one of you pesky Mets fans with me.
Is it working now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear him now.
Good.
Yeah.
And I can hear you. Very good.
Mike, can you hear us like decently this time? Or we
Yeah,
still echoing all
you're a
that
bit
shit?
you're a bit of an echo, but you're good.
God damn it. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So oh, where's my joint? Oh,
You dropped it. Oh shit.
No. I put it in the ashtray. I'm about to say, what happened to my joint? I thought I was holding it. No, where's my lighter? God damn it.
Yeah, that shooting was sad. That's sad.
No, what's sad is the fact that they want to make it everything political. Like it's a beef over trannies. Like that's the fucking that's not what it was about.
You are echoing big
I
time
know,
now.
very bad.
So yeah, they're making everything's political. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're echoing, but yeah, it's bullshit. It is what it is, though.
I just love how they want to make it seem like it's the gun. These assault rifles. Yo, put these fucked up people that are fucked up in the head in the mental hospital the way they're supposed to be.
Well, they're giving these guns away. These guys are just giving them. You go and apply. They don't do much of a background.
Who? Where? Who? When you bought the gun, nigga? When
No,
you
I'm
go to
saying,
because
I'm saying,
they
Pete.
do backgrounds.
Yeah, but it's not obviously it's not working if these people
No,
are
nigga,
purchasing these
it's
guns.
that they haven't had prior issues. These people are being fucking hyped up. All the stupid bullshit, this uh back and forth with this political bullshit and all this stupid shit, all this social fucking nonsense is making these people think and do stupid shit. They're going and getting guns when they've never had issues before. They never had priors. If they never had a prior, of course they're gonna get the gun, bro. You're not gonna detain a chick because she's trying to be a dude. You're gonna be like, yo, she wants to exercise her rights. That's fine. But the problem is we're not taking into account number one, all the stupid rhetoric and bullshit that's getting passed back and forth, talking about there's a transgender what was the word they're using? Genocide. They were saying this on the news. There's a transgender genocide. Is that fucking ridiculous? It's like we don't know the history of what a real genocide is. It's fucking ridiculous. And then you got these fucking dumb brain lame motherfuckers that listen to that shit and think that shit is for real. And then they want to run around and go and do stupid shit. And then they want to blame guns. That's fucking stupid. It's the people making other people think stupid shit and the stupid motherfuckers out there doing it. It ain't even the weapon, bro. I get it. Everybody's like, oh, they're getting guns easily. It ain't that hard to get a gun. There's no issue. There's no falsities in that. But the problem is, if you do something wrong, then you need to be held accountable. And the full extent of the law should be passed on everybody, not just the spics and the niggas, not just the low income crackers. Everybody. And then
Yep.
maybe you get the justice system correct, and maybe you can start wrangling in all these fucking degenerates. A lot of this gun crime that they love to cite these statistics are gang violence. Why in the fuck are you adding gang violence into mass shootings? These are niggas and spics shooting themselves. Nobody gives a fuck about them, but then they want to add them into these fucking equations and act like, oh, there's mass shootings. No, it's not. You're fucking full of shit.
You mean it's only mass shootings if white people get killed? Is that
No, that's not what I'm meaning. But what I'm saying is,
okay.
if you look at the FBI statistics, when they write down the shootings, they have a column for gang violence. You're saying mass shootings as in some deranged person just getting a gun and going out and shooting strangers. That's not how the FBI use those statistics. That's a difference than fucking gang violence. One gang rolls up on one block and everybody's shooting at each other. They put that in a different column. But everybody else is adding them into all of it. Like, oh, that's a mass shooting. No, nigga, that was an actual fucking battle in the streets. It wasn't a mass shooting. It was a battle. Now, a whole bunch of people who wasn't involved got shot. You know why? Because in the battle, all of those soldiers are untrained and they suck. They're stormtroopers. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
I saw a clip earlier this week. It was 4 young men come up on a house. One pulls out a automatic weapon and fires away. They shoot like 60 some bullets into the house, and then they run away. And I think 2 people were hit, both kids, I want to say.
Because these motherfuckers is cowards, bro. They call that a shooter. Yeah, I just caught a victim.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, you just shot through a closed door. You just shot. It's like shooting with your eyes closed and then running away saying, I'm a gangster.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. And then these other little niggas sit there and like, yeah, word up, cuz. He let his shit pop off, kid. Like, all right. That's why when you guys get in actual gun battles, you don't hit nobody. You don't hit nobody you intend to hit. And when you and I'm including every gang member, when you get into gun battles with the cops, you always lose. Why? Because they train way more than you do, and you motherfuckers is just shooting.
That is true.
But the main thing about that is that there's families that need to be correcting that bullshit. You're not gonna fucking tell me you don't know your kid is in a gang. You're not gonna tell me this bullshit, bro. And everybody always lets that shit ride. They want to pass over that shit. Like, what? Are we supposed to assume that all black parents and spick parents that have kids in gangs are just degenerates and we can't bring that out? We can't tell nobody like, yo, you know what they are.
Mm.
You know, we expect you to raise your kid. You can't expect that. You know what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
But the argument still becomes how are they getting these guns?
Mike, how I get it. That's an argument.
That's what I'm saying.
But how is that the argument? The
No,
argument
it's not
has to be
the argument.
the people.
Yeah, of course, but
we don't. No, but
all right. So let's say we have a nephew in common. Let's say nephew Peter. Right, our sister had a kid, and nephew Peter's out in the street, whatever, and he's 18 years old. He's running around with the wrong motherfuckers or whatever, and he can't apply for a gun, obviously, and he's involved in a shootout. He shoots somebody. Let's just say he's tired at his job. He works at a supermarket, and he just goes buck wild and shoots everybody. Right. Obviously, you and I are going to say, our nephew's not like that. Something must have provoked him. He's not like that. He's not that kind of kid. That's not how our sister would raise him. The question becomes, how the hell did he get a gun? Right.
All right, so wait. Let me use your logic. So
okay.
you have 4 sons.
Right.
You had one that was a little bit older when you were raising the other 2.
Right.
You've never once heard that any one of these kids were involved with some situations as far as maybe hanging out with the wrong people, right?
Right.
You ever heard? All right. But if you did hear that one of your sons, this is your blood, that was hanging around with the wrong people, what would be your reaction?
I don't want you hanging out with them.
Okay, so then what would you be doing from? I'm just saying. But so what I'm saying is, hold on. This is the whole thing. So this is the conversation. So then, what do you do from there? You don't want him hanging out with the wrong crowd. So what do you start doing from there to make sure your son doesn't hang out with the wrong crowd?
I try ask him not to hang out with people, with those people.
I get you're going to ask him that, but Mike, that's all you're going to do is bring him home and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Please don't hang out with them. They're bad guys. Or are you going to say, hey, listen, let's try to find a different outlet for you to start expressing yourself or putting yourself into. Like maybe I want to get you into the ROTC. Maybe I want to get you into my job. Maybe I want to get you into a side hustle that I've been put. I'm just saying, would that be something that you would do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, eventually,
okay,
yes.
Now stop.
Yeah, but
so now we don't have. There's other parents that are not doing that. So when we're sitting here saying, "Oh, how are they getting the guns?" First things first. How the fuck are they hanging out with these type of peoples in your neighborhood, and you don't know about it? And if you know about it, then you should be expecting something to happen. And for you to say, "Oh, how did he get the gun?" That ain't even the question. The question was, motherfucker, why wasn't you raising your kid correctly and watching your kid? Because see, now your son, I see him in the street with one of his friends or something. I walk up to him like, "Yo, what's up? You doing good? Don't be fucking around because I'll fuck you up." And I would say the same thing to this little friend, like, "Yo, you get my little nephew into some shit, I'll be stabbing your fucking ass." Like, nah, Theo, we good. All right, cool. That's interacting and intervention, because I go in there and I say, I'm letting you know that I'm watching him too. So it ain't only his dad, his uncle's watching him too. So when you guys were living in Inverary, that's how I was with Derek's friends. So that was two of us making sure that Derek didn't go down the wrong path to go get a fucking gun and do something dumb. But now we're going to talk about what if we're parents that are not doing shit. Then the first thing we ask is, how'd they get the gun?
All right. Well, all right. So I'm going to use your analogy now. So me telling my son, or my daughter, who she's hanging out with or who he's hanging out with, I don't want, I gave you the car. I don't want you letting other people drive the car and they drive the car. You can say it to your blue in your face, then ends up Derek, crashes the car. find out his friend was driving the car. What do I do? Take the car away from him?
No, yeah. Either the car's no good no more, or
No,
guess
no,
what?
no. Do I fix
So
the
my
car?
situation, I had that situation. You know what you know what my answer was? You wrecked it. If you ever want to drive it again, you're gonna have to fix it. And
Okay.
there's no support from me in this anymore, because you
Okay.
didn't follow what I asked you to do.
Okay, so let's say
So there
she
was
or he,
so
whatever, gets the car fixed, and it happens again. This time it involves someone getting hurt.
but what I'm
What-
saying is, hold up,
So
wait,
you didn't
stop. So
take
stop, hold on.
accountability?
So now we just bypassed the whole center section. So you're gonna tell me I'm not gonna know that she got a car fixed? I'm obviously gonna know that. The car's
No,
gonna be
no, I'm
towed in front of
saying
my house.
it could
All
be
right, so what
somebody
I'm saying,
else's car.
how can you control your kid with somebody else's property if they're not in your face? What I'm saying to you
And it's
is,
the same,
what I'm
it's the
saying to
same
you, no,
analogy as me
no.
saying they can get a gun from where are they getting the gun
Yes,
from?
but what I'm saying is the number one thing is find out what your children are involved in,
I
who they are
understand that.
involved with. When
I
you
understand.
do that, as we have, I've noticed none of our children ever been to fucking jail, locked up, and almost all of them got guns. So when you
But
at
what I-
least can try a little bit, you might get a lot back in return, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I get the thing that we need to find out where they got these guns from. But you would do that with anybody. If a grown man did a shooting, you'd be like, after you found out who the person was that did the shooting, you're gonna say, where did this person get this gun from? That's a guarantee. But when it first starts off, the first thing we should never be going to is where they get the gun from. We should be finding out what the fuck is going on, why this person was able to do this. Why was nobody else aware that this could possibly happen with this person? You see what I'm saying? And nobody wants to talk about that. That's the
Yeah,
only thing
but-
I'm saying. I
but
get
what
it though.
But what I'm saying is there's ways that we can prevent a bunch of things.
Like what?
You know,
In what way?
all
Okay.
right, let's say let's just go sex.
Sex. Okay.
I'm
How do
sure
we
you
prevent
talk
that?
to you. I'm sure you talk to your daughter about not becoming pregnant, getting protection. I've done the same thing with my boys. Now turns around, my boys got babies.
So then how, like you said, but you said there was ways we could prevent that. How could we prevent that?
Prevent what? Them having
Prevent
not
them
having
doing
babies?
anything wrong.
No,
Grabbing
they're
guns.
always
How do we prevent them from grabbing guns? How do we prevent them from having babies? How do we prevent them
by
from not
just
doing?
talking to them, teaching them.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. We don't, as in the nation, as this big talk that we're supposed to be having on the news, this debate, we never sit down to discuss how come the family is not involved with these people further. I get it.
I
A
agree.
lot of these people are adults and they want to be left alone. But
But then
I never met Penny's nephew, the one that had the operation and he killed himself, or he died. I think he died of an overdose.
I don't
You
know
know
who
what I'm
that is, but
But if I ever had the chance to have talked to him, I wouldn't have tried to treat him like, yo, this is nasty. You're confused or you're fucked up. I would have wanted to know, like, bro, could it have been something that started earlier, like you was touched by somebody and that made you feel a certain way, and that maybe that's something that we should all try to rectify for you by getting it out to find out who it was, how it happened, why
some
it
people
happened.
don't want to talk about that.
I know, and that's a problem too.
And that is.
But there are some that do, and we don't give them the chance for that. You see what I'm saying? And I think
What
that's people like this girl who just shot. The person who goes into a fucking school to go shoot angrily, they're angry and they want something bad to happen to them too. Because she's not assuming that she's gonna walk out of there with the pride flag waving, talking about we did it. She knew that they was gonna kill her, bro.
Right.
So in her heart, it was not only just the malice of what she did, it was actually an anger of herself. She was trying to put herself to get punished. And that's crazy. That
It is.
that she had nobody around for her, that she could have got all of that shit out verbally. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks. So like when I talk to my nephews, my daughters, I talk to the kids. I go, yo, you guys could tell me I'm garbage. So anything that you do is fucking roses to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna judge you. So if I'm the only person who will do that, shit on me. You know what I'm saying? Shit all over me. Let me hear it. I'll keep it to myself.
See, but
So-
you're a rare person. That's a rare commodity because nobody else is thinking that way.
Maybe we should demand that in our government when they talk about healthcare.
And that's, I'm glad you said government, because now in Florida anyway, with the schools taking away prayer, you can't say gay. It's becoming, you're starting to box a lot of people in. And I can see this happening regularly, where you pick up a gun. Again, we don't know where these guns are coming from, but you go get a gun and take care of business on your own.
But the problem is,
the common denominator.
The thing is that we have these people confused, thinking that the business they need to take care of is harming innocent people that did nothing to them. That's not real business. That's not business you're taking care of. If you had business to take care of, it would be like your dream. You take care of the fucking people who gave you problems to handle in that business. That's business, not little kids or teachers that didn't do shit to you.
I agree.
It's the common denominator, Mike.
The guns, how are they getting these guns? Because if they couldn't get to a gun, what would they do? Go into a school and start screaming, hitting them with hammers? You know what I'm saying?
That's what they do in China, right?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I've watched some videos. They run up in the schools and they stab these kids. And you know what? They got to sit there running out the way while these motherfuckers are stabbing children. Motherfuckers are running there with hammers and hammer children. There's motherfuckers that run up in stores and start stabbing women. I watched the video. These motherfuckers they were all eating in one of those, I don't know, you like to eat at those places. Like they have the buffets, you go and, I forgot what the name of the market was that you like. Boston Market, maybe? It was something like that. And the Chinese dude, it was in China, so it wasn't Boston Market, but it was set up like that. And dude was just standing there watching the people in line, grabbing their food from the thing. And he just turned and just started stabbing the dude in front of him. I mean, like outrageously stabbing him.
Obviously,
and it's like, and I get it. You go, well, he only got to stab one person. No, he didn't. He stabbed a couple people because they were close to him, trying to help, and then they got stabbed up too.
Right.
We could think about saying, yeah, the gun is the common denominator. Yeah, but the real common denominator is mental health.
It is.
That's the number one common denominator.
But that combination is very, very deadly. We have to agree on that.
Of course. So like this, look, they go, everybody gets guns easily. But when you try to go purchase a gun legally, it ain't easy. It's a pain in the ass. And actually, some people get denied and never get to get a gun through the government. Okay, so now then you turn around and you go, oh, so how are these people getting guns? Well, look at the kid, Adam Lanza. How did he get his gun? His mom brought him the gun because he was fucked up in the head and she thought that was something him and her can get involved in together. That's what the fuck he did. And then you can see that same thing play out in a couple of these shootings. So we don't even know about this girl, how she got her gun. It could have been a family member that was like, yo, she's been going through things, so we wanted to get some firearms and start doing this. You know, it's not always that it's either illegal, but it's sometimes people doing the wrong thing, thinking they're trying to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
So as a remedy, or not, because we're never gonna stop happening. But would you agree where in order to get or purchase a firearm, it would be required to go see a doctor?
No, because no, I don't think so. I think going into your criminal or psychiatric history, if you've ever been put in for review mentally, if you've ever been arrested and adjudicated for something, those are the things that they stop you for. And that's what we need to do. But a lot of the times the problem is the medical stuff doesn't go in with the police, the law enforcement shit, the criminal shit. So they can't get that background. They can't get that information. But that information should be given. If you was deemed to be mental, that's what I mean. But I'm not saying, I don't agree that I'm saying I need to get a gun and you go, oh, well, you need to see a psychiatrist. That's fucking bullshit. Because some people don't want guns until they feel they fucking need it. And there's nobody that needs to be slowing them the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna deter one person who's just trying to defend themselves from an ex-boyfriend who wants to be violent against them.
But you still have to wait 5 days in some sense, right? In
No,
some
because
cases.
in every state you got to wait 5 business days unless you get a permit. Once you get the permit, that means you did your background. Why would I
That's
have
what
to
I mean.
why would I have to go do a mental thing to get my?
No, I'm talking about in order to get your permit. Now, if you don't have a permit, I think you should be examined by a doctor in order.
I've listened to this argument before. The only thing that I keep hearing on that is that you're gonna make it more strenuous for a person with lower income that has no issues with mental health or no background criminality. You're gonna make it harder for them and give them more hoops to go through. And the people who pay for the permits, this will be the argument because I heard this argument. The people that paid for the permit are the people who could afford it. So so the argument is said that it would be a classist. It would be based on a lower income and a more affordable income. And that's why they don't want to do that. That was the argument against that, just doing it against the people who didn't have permits. You understand? So if it was going to be done, it would have to be done against all to make it fair. You see what I'm saying? So like, you would say, to get my shit, I went to the sheriff and I did my fingerprints with the sheriff. And I said, I need you guys to run me through every fucking criminal thing and keep me on record. These are my fingerprints, all my hands up, my palm, all that bullshit. Then I went and I tried to get my concealed. So when I got my concealed, I gave them my fingerprints again, but they already had the information from the sheriffs when I gave the sheriffs my info. You see what I'm saying? So when the sheriffs had it, they had all the time to go through to see if I had any criminal history. And then when I went to the agriculture to get my card, my concealed, they send it to the feds, and then the feds do another search. So after all that, why would I need to do a mental history, a mental physical? If all of my shit is already checked out, I have 0. Why would I need to go through that? That's going to add an extra step to me that I don't need. That's an inconvenience.
Well, because then that weans out. It just it just weans out that you're not crazy. Like now, I'm reading about the shooter, the Nashville. Her parents are saying that she was under emotional disorder. She was diagnosed with emotional disorder, and she hid her guns. Again, if they were to do what they had to do with a background check, or even her parents are much to blame, because if you know your daughter's under distress like that, you take her guns away. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not a hard task. I know you guys it's my right. Yeah, it was a 9-year-old's right to grow up and be somebody. Now they're not. And I understand your argument. It's my amendment. It's my right to have a. Yeah, I understand that, but it's also the right of the victims, not only the people who got killed, but their families and the kids that were actually there. You saw them 9-year-olds holding each other's hands while they evacuating. That's crazy. We shouldn't be living in a world like that. That's crazy. The worst that you and
how would you expect the world to live in where nothing happened? That's a ridiculous idea. Because
what do you mean?
Inherently, men are destructive. So there's always going to be someone who wants to see destruction.
Of course.
So you're never going to always find it in any doctors, in their medical history, or in their criminality background. Some of these men are fucking serial killers that have never had any issues with the law. So what you're saying is, these people have the right to live. Everybody has the fucking right to live, bro.
Right.
So if you're gonna be feeling like, oh, my kids are unsafe, then you say to your schools, you guys got to start having to put security. If this is the world that every day on the news, we're putting more and more division, and we're setting more people up to get fucking mentally distressed. This chick was mentally distressed. She wasn't distressed off for just being at home with her mother and father. She was seeing all kinds of political bullshit. She's on Twitter, Facebook, and seeing all this other fucking ridiculousness. And we're sitting there allowing this to continue. No one's talking about it. We're not saying how many times have since they had serial killers, since the first serial killers, where they have done studies that every time you show the killer's face and say their name and memorialize them, you set up for another shooting. And they don't stop. They keep on and everything. Oh, the gun. This girl, that. Bro, let's start doing things in order the right way. Let's stop acting ass backwards. Let's stop acting like, oh, everybody deserves to live. Come on, bro. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But obviously, there's always going to be people who are going to try to hurt. So what do you do? What do you say? You say that. Do you say that? Wait. I'm asking. Let me say this. What would be the way that would secure no violence?
No, but what you're saying is because they got to go through another loophole with the psychiatric, eval. You'd rather give up a life than have somebody go through another loophole.
No one said that.
Yes, you did. You just
I said that I'd rather give up a life than go through that. What I said was, you said for a person to get their background, to get their information, need to do a mental. If I give my information and everything from my fucking birth history to the law, and they do all the background, which they can find out if I was put into the hospital, because it's in the court records, they would be able to find out. They don't go through it because of the HIPAA law. But why would I have to go through a goddamn psychiatric evaluation if they went through my whole background and saw there was no mental issues, no violent issues with me, and I'm good? Why would I have to go through all those extra steps? Because of what? Because it makes you feel better?
No, because things change. So when you got your permit, you were 18, right?
No.
Let's say, do you have to renew your permit?
Yes.
How often?
Every 7 years.
So let's say you're 18, right? And you pass. You go to the Army, right? You come back with PS, whatever. You come back fucked up.
So now that issue has come up. So we're talking about it. We have to talk about it. You bringing it up, it has to be talked about. That has come up. So when a Air Force dude came back home, they said that his mental shit was fucked up and he couldn't get a gun. They said it in the Army base. They said it was within the army shit.
But when he went out to has one.
No, he didn't already have one. He didn't already have one. He went to the pawn shop and got one. And the shit was they didn't relay those messages. They didn't relay that information. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference because they'll hold different information in separate shit. So now you're saying a person who goes to the Army, he comes up fucked up. All right, your son went to the Army. He didn't come back to rap, right? He saw some shit that fucked him up. You feel uncomfortable with him having a gun? Because he has a gun. I don't. All right,
he don't, and he knows that, and that's why he doesn't have it out. I mean,
what I'm saying to you is, he has a gun.
You're asking me.
You're saying, do you feel uncomfortable with him because you know him? Because you know him.
I do. I feel uncomfortable with him having a gun. Yes.
Oh, you feel uncomfortable with him having a gun? Okay.
Yes. I feel uncomfortable with me having a gun.
You don't trust yourself?
No, now I do, but 2 years ago, no, I didn't. But what I'm saying is, if I would have got a permit 4 years ago, right, and I try to buy a gun a year ago, I would feel better if they were to go and tell me, you know what, go see a doctor, see if everything is all right. It's as simple as that. It's not a loophole.
Then you know what I would say? I would say you should do that. You should do that personally. Go get your shit checked out.
No, it's not a see, but it's
and
not
then have it thrown up on your card.
It shouldn't be a personal thing. It should be a mandatory thing, because people change. You think this girl, whatever.
I understand. People change. I get that. I can fully understand that people changes and everything changes. But the bottom line is, so you want me to go through something extra because there's other motherfuckers that abuse.
Yes.
Yes. I don't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that. Yes. If I'm following the law and I'm doing the right thing, why would I have to go through extra? That would be like I'm making money online doing videos on the internet, and you're making money busting your ass. But since I'm making so much fucking money, you deserve the same amount of money? No, what the
No,
fuck is that?
you
'Cause
got to
you're not
pay
doing the
taxes
same
just
thing.
like every.
You're
just
not
pay
doing the same
taxes.
thing. We're not going through the same life. We're not
Yes,
seeing the
we
same
are.
thing.
You
How?
still got to pay your taxes. That's the bottom
I
line.
get that. I get that.
So,
But what
so
I'm
what is
saying
the
is,
difference?
you want what you. All right. So if the money I'm making, the taxes are like it's equal. So Anthony makes 150,000 a year. He has to pay 38,000. You make 62,000 a year. You're still required to pay 38,000.
That's not how it goes. No.
When you're asking that, when you're asking me
But
to do
that's
the
not
back,
how it goes. No,
how is that not how it goes?
Because
The equal.
there's a certain percentage that you pay after a certain amount of money you earn. So what I'm saying is,
So
after a
here it
certain
is. So here goes the certain amount of percentage you pay. If you've been in court for any kind of mental anything, despair, anything, that goes on your information, and you go get your fucking shit checked out. When they do my background and there's no mental anything, they leave me right alone and I go through my shit. That's fair.
Yeah, but there's gonna be people that are gonna go through the same thing and they're gonna snap, right?
So
And
Mike, so what's the fucking use, bro? So what you just said right now was people gonna go through it and then pass it and snap. So what's the fucking use?
Because
What would no,
deter people.
That's not deterring nothing.
Yes,
That would
it
leave
is.
somebody vulnerable. And see, because it's not around you and you don't see it, you don't agree with it. But there are people who have wanted to get.
I see?
What I'm saying is the need for a firearm at an instant moment. When you're acting like somebody's going.
You're not getting a firearm instantly.
Exactly.
You gotta wait 5 days.
Exactly. That's already been a problem. There have been people murdered before that. There have been people trying to get their permits. Everything was legit, but the state held their permits for X amount of time, and ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, or whatever murdered them during that time. They had credible knowledge that they were being fucking threatened and told they were going to be harmed by a person who was capable of doing it, and then they were murdered. So that has been an issue those 5 days. But now you're saying, so what I'm saying, so you're what I'm saying is you're not understanding. Some people, I may have never seen it myself. I've just watched those stories. But imagine if my daughter felt like she needed a gun now legally and I was out of state or dead and I didn't have the shit that I had. She had to go to a store to buy it. And her background and everything was good. And now you're going to say, all right, well, we got to do a mental evaluation. That's at least going to be a week because the doctor's going to have so many people to look at. Then those people get harmed in that delay.
But she was going to have to wait 5 days anyway, right?
Yeah, but even the 5 days is a harsh delay. Yes, there is a but. It's the 5 days are even because the 5 days. But even the 5 days is a harsh wait, is what I'm telling you. You're asking for more. 5 is already a fucking problem. You're not getting that, nigga. 5 is a fucking problem. Any more than 5 is too much. 5 is already a lot. Any more than that is too fucking much.
What?
Wait. It's like talking to a junkie with us. They want it now.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
so let me ask you a question. So check this out. Your son, Little Smokey, comes to the house. He's just been jumped. And now a little gang of niggas shoots up your house. And they're like, yo, we're going to catch you tomorrow. You've never been arrested or nothing, and you need to get yourself a firearm. Do you want to wait those 5 days after they just shot at your house? After they threatened your child? I'm just curious. I get that. I get you have to. But what I'm saying, are you going to be happy when they come and fucking murder you and your kid? No.
So you're not going to tell any law enforcement? You're just going to keep it to yourself?
Mike, what are they going to do, Mike? What are they going to do? Sit in front of your house?
I don't know.
No, they're not. No, I can tell you that they will not sit in front of your house, nigga.
So
you can tell them, I've been threatened. They'll be like, yo, sorry, bro. What you want us to do? You see, this is the clown shit. That's the clown shit right there. That's the clown shit. That mentality right there is clown shit. Because you're going to be like, oh, you couldn't call the cops? The cops ain't doing shit, nigga.
You can't move?
Nigga, the cops ain't doing shit. Oh, so I got to move?
You got to do
Instead of buying a $200 gun, and keep these motherfuckers away from me. You want me to move and uproot my life? Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. That whole argument is stupid. This is what I'm talking about.
You're telling me a gun? You're telling me you buying a gun is going to keep them from shooting your house up?
You know what? You want to know what?
That's how stupid
No, nigga. Oh, no. How stupid? What do you think they want to shoot? So you thinking they're going to come and be like, yo,
That's
You're
just stupid.
so your
I'm just
idea is I'm gonna
get
go
a
buy a gun and I'm gonna
just
run out
gonna
there
go
and say,
get a
hey,
gun,
don't
and they're
come
gonna
shoot
leave me
my
alone.
house.
They're
I got
gonna
a
leave me
gun.
alone.
Is that what you think is gonna happen?
They're
Is that
gonna
what you
leave
think
me
is gonna happen?
alone. I'm
So you
gonna
think I'm
buy a
gonna
gun.
get a gun?
They're
I'm gonna
leave
go
me
out there and say,
alone.
I got a gun. Don't shoot at my house. That's what
That's
you
what you're
think?
gonna do.
Is that what you think?
No,
Is that what you think? Because that's the clown shit you just said. You said I'm gonna
no.
be like, oh, I got a
I'm
gun. Now they're not
asking
gonna shoot
you.
at my house. No, nigga, the gun is so when they shoot up my house, they get shots back. And then they go, oh shit, the nigga had a burner.
So they shot anyway with you getting a gun.
But now they get shot back. So now they don't want to come back. You see, so you think
so?
no, you think they're gonna want to come back? See,
Of
that's
course.
the clown shit. Why? Because they're that gangster. Is that
So
what
why
you
would
think?
they? So you
Mike,
think
so
they
Mike,
only went
just
to
like you
shoot up-
said, the
So you
cops.
think they only
So
went to
just
go
like you
shoot
said
up
with the
your shit
cops.
because you don't
The
have a
cops
gun?
ain't gonna give a fuck until something happens. So once
Yeah.
the house is shot, now they start coming around. Now you
No.
got what you wanted.
So,
Now they're in the neighborhood.
So what I'm asking you is, so do you think that if you have a gun, they're not gonna come and shoot up your shit?
Mike,
And if they do shoot up your shit,
Mike,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna tell you
shoot them.
something. Mikey,
Go ahead.
even in dreams, people who know I got guns don't come at me. Okay?
You think, and everybody knows you
That's
have
it.
guns?
Anybody who knows, they
No,
don't come
that's
at
what
me.
I'm saying. You don't know
That's
anybody who knows.
listen, because I don't have no beef with nobody. But anybody who's coming at me,
that's
so
the
now
bottom line.
all right, so
And
I have
that's
no
the
beef with
bottom
nobody.
line.
But what I'm saying is if you have a stalker, somebody trying to get you, somebody who you thought you was in a relationship with, we're not talking just about the gang shit. We're talking about a personal issue. You cannot feel safe sitting here talking about, hey, everybody's happy with me waiting 5 days, but this motherfucker's at my back door trying to get in every day. I call the cops. I got a restraining order, but what does the restraining order do when he's stabbing me? That's the issue that has been with that argument, is what I'm saying.
And that how often is that?
I don't know, Mike. I don't look at the statistics, but I'm sure the bitches who's getting stabbed and murdered or choked out at that moment don't give a fuck how often it is, because the moment it's happening to her, it's the worst. It's too much. One is too, like you saying, one kid is too much. One motherfucker sitting in the house getting choked out because they couldn't get their shit. It's too fucking much. One person who got a gun pulled out on them.
So how often does that happen to mass shootings?
As far as what? What do you mean?
How often does that happen to mass shootings?
What do you mean? How often does what happen to mass shootings?
Scenario? How often does the scenario that
the
you
person
just said,
shooting them? A person shooting a mass shooter? Is that what you're asking?
No. How often does that scenario that you just said happen? As far as
what scenario? The scenario of somebody getting murdered while they're waiting for a permit.
Yeah.
Okay, look it up online, nigga. I don't know, but it's not once. It's not one. It's far more than 100.
It can't be as often as.
Why? Because you don't hear about it?
No.
Because you don't hear about it. No, because you don't hear about it, Michael. Fucking first of all, domestic violence is the most crime in America. So don't tell me that it's not more than fucking mass shootings. Yes, it's happening more than mass shootings, because you're not seeing it on the news and they're not billowing and yelling about it. Doesn't mean it's not more than mass shootings, Michael.
Well, no, but
look. You got a computer. Do the research. You have a computer. Do the research.
Is having a gun gonna stop that?
Mike, having a gun does stop.
Yes or no, man. No? Yes or no?
Yes, it does.
Coming up with
yes, it does. Yes, it does. There's been stories. There's been stories of women who got in their guns when the X-Man came to attack them. They shot the motherfucker. Guess what? That bitch lived.
Okay. I don't agree with that.
Of course you don't, because you don't want to. Because you don't want to.
I do want to.
So then go do research. Go do the research, and for next week you tell me if I'm wrong. That's all. Do the research and then tell me next week. You be like, yo, you full of shit. That only happened to 3 bitches, and those 3 bitches were losers. And I'll agree with you.
That's another scenario too.
You know what I'm saying? But nigga, there's way more scenarios than us discussing. And we sit here and talk about mass shootings. But because the news keeps on talking and talking and talking, while the one mass shooting happened this month, they've talked about it so much you thought 4 of them happened this month. Nigga, it's come on. We can do the research, and then before we start talking about, oh, let's give up this and let's give. I'm not telling you don't take the guns.
Take the guns. I'm not talking about giving up guns.
Or try the mental thing. But what I'm saying is, when it doesn't work, then what's the next argument? So when you go and you get everybody to do mental backgrounds, and several people get by and they commit murders and heinous shit, then
Right.
what's the next argument?
That's going to happen. Of course, it's going to happen.
So then what's the next argument?
But I guarantee you there'll be a reduce.
Mike, you know
the
what a
numbers
reduced
will drop.
shootings, Mike? You know what a reduced shootings?
What?
Motherfucker the motherfucker breaks the law, he goes to fucking jail. You don't
Of
just
course.
get out, you don't sit there for 15 minutes and get a fucking ROR. You sit and you go through the whole shit with the judge. If you're a fucking repeat offender, guess what? You're gonna fucking stay with them for a while. They're taking our tax money like it ain't nothing. Might as well keep these motherfuckers locked up. All right, start
I agree
using
with.
the laws that we have. All right, man. Most of these motherfuckers, they get off on dumb shit. A motherfucker just murdered a motherfucker. He murdered. I got this. I was gonna talk about the story. Let me read this story real quick. All right, man who murdered a motorcyclist taking part in the making of a music video has had the time he must spend in jail before being considered for release reduced by appeal judges. So this dude killed the motherfucker, and they feel that he's done enough time. This Brandon 20 was handed a life sentence, so he was handed life for murder.
And he did enough time.
And they want to let him out. So he's murdered somebody who will never fucking come back, and he's done enough time. This is the stupid shit.
But who determines he did enough time? Who says that?
It's the judges. It's this new thing going on with these judges, with this court system, where they're acting like, oh, I remember when they first started doing it with the kids that murdered. Any kid that did a murder that was sentenced to life before he was 21, the sentences are all reduced. That's all the kids. The kids that you see in those news, those fucking FBI shits and all those fucking videos and stupid shit that killed their parents or whatever, all of them have to get early time release. So now, here you go telling me.
Wait, you're saying they have to? Who says they have to?
Because that's the new law. The law now is if they're not of adult age when they were sentenced to life, they have to get a reduced sentence. It cannot be life.
And they put that into law.
Yeah, Michael, please don't listen
I never
to
heard
me.
of that.
Please don't listen to me and just go research it. Is all I'm saying.
I never heard of that. I mean, you bring up things that I never heard of.
Because I look at all kinds of shit.
Research it, and then it's not only is it not true,
okay,
they're just talking about it.
Oh,
so
check that out.
I am going to look into that. So you're telling me those kids that in the Bronx that stabbed that kid up, Junior or whatever,
did they get life?
Yeah, some of them, 2 of them got life.
Were they older
so
than
you're
21?
telling me about it?
Were they older than 21?
So in 4 years, when they over 21, they can get out.
No, they're not going to get out at 21.
I find that hard to believe.
What I'm saying, that's not what the thing says. It's not to say
they
won't do life. If they were sentenced to life before they were the adult age, then they have to reduce the sentence to not life to 25 to life, is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is 25 to life is not even a good sentence for murder. You took a life, you should never be free. Never. But
so they don't get retried. They just automatically their shit gets reduced.
Either it gets readjusted. I don't know. Maybe they discussed it, the judges and the attorneys, but they're not going to do life. Unless it was a recent thing now, and they taking it because the person was close to 21, and they want to convict this person. But if you go and you look, they were reducing all of the life sentences. Remember the little kid that killed the little girl here in Florida by diving on her or wrestling? He was wrestling with her, jumping off the bed. Nigga was like 200 pounds. He crushed the little girl. He just was elbowing her and DDTing her. He killed her. They had given him life initially, the little black kid. But his sentence got reduced. He's going to do like 25 or 20, whatever. If he's a shit in jail, obviously his sentence will get stretched because he'll be getting time while he's in there. But if he's a model inmate, he'll get out in the 20 years or the 25 years. What they used to do is life without parole. Now they get the chance to go to get parole. They just will not get life anymore. I don't know. Go look for it.
I'm going to look into it. I'm going to ask a couple of attorneys too, because I never heard of that.
Yeah.
And if we had a vote on something like that, or whoever senator or congressman that put that in there and they made it a law, that's ridiculous.
I'm not even 100% sure if it's part of the First Step Act, but the First Step Act is the reason why a lot of people are not getting locked up. The First Step Act is supposed to help people who have like first time offenders and shit. Did you hear about the guy who stabbed Rand Paul's assistant in the head?
No.
All right, in DC, dude just came out of prison, and maybe within the week he stabbed Rand Paul's assistant in the head, stabbed him up. He had mental issues and all that, and they released him because of the First Step Act. Look into it, B. Look into it.
Which is what? What's the first?
The First Step Act is supposed to reduce sentences for first time offenders. It's like you don't get sentenced to a certain thing for a certain shit. I don't remember the whole thing. There's a whole bunch of different stupid shit. I don't remember all of it. But I know that it helps them.
And they knew he was mentally ill?
Bro, they released him on that. And
no, they knew he was mental.
If he was in there for that, but I don't know what the fuck they knew. If the dude had, they go and they look at his background, and it says he had mental issues and he was locked up. I'm pretty sure that shit followed him all the way through prison. No, I don't know. I've never been locked up. You got to talk to Freeway about that.
Is that just helps my issue about going to see a doctor.
And look what they did. They let him out. So what was the difference? They was like, hey, get out. So even when he should have stood in prison because he was a repeat offender, they let him out because they didn't give a fuck. So my thing is that what exactly do you expect to change if we was to start this? Like what drastic change would be made? Because I'm willing to hear it out. You know, are you telling me that all the mass shooters are going to stop for at least a year?
No, but
or you just saying that we're just going to start having all these type of we're going to have to start getting all kinds of fucking psychiatrists and people to be mental doctors because we're going to have all these people trying to get guns.
Well, it would hold a lot more people accountable for what's happening instead of just passing the buck and saying, you know, it would start with whatever congressman writes shit into bills.
You know what you just
and then
said
the
right
governor.
Now?
What?
You know what you just said right now? It would hold them accountable. They don't hold these people accountable as is now with the law. They let motherfuckers out right now as it is. So what do you think is going to change if they was, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, they're not doing the job the way it's supposed to be done right now. What makes you think adding another step to these people's job that they're going to do right? It's going to still be another shit show. And we'll be sitting here still complaining, arguing, and everybody talking about, oh, you know, why you're doing the backgrounds, but, you know, maybe we should all have body cams so we can know what we're doing. Maybe if they started enforcing the fucking laws, enforcing these prison terms, you do something fucked up and you're not completely good anymore, you don't go to your mom and your dad's house. You fucking stay and you get watched. If your parents feel you're fucked up and they didn't speak about it and you do some shit like this, your parents should get charges. Maybe the parents will start speaking up. But we're not talking about any of that. The first thing we talk about is what's the common denominator? It's the AR-15. Let's get them. Okay, get them out. Nigga, take everybody so I can be the only nigga with all the guns I got.
See,
I would not mind.
That you're taking everything personal. You're looking at everything.
I'm not. But I'm looking at it. Yeah, of course. Wait. I gotta take it personal. I gotta take it personal because these type of things. What you're suggesting will fall upon my daughter. So fuck yeah, I'm gonna take it personal. Who the fuck is them niggas to need to know her medical background, her mental background, if she's not violent at nobody? Shit, do the fuck. So she goes and does a background or goes to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist just feels like, I don't really like her attitude. She's never done anything violent. But you know what? You never know. So I just can't put yes or no. I got to put I'm not sure. You know, when they do that, you don't get a release on your gun. Okay? So then that's a bunch of bullshit, Mike. And people abuse every part of the system that we have. So tell me a way we implement something new in the system without it being abused. And then I'm for it. But if you're going to just tell me, oh, yeah, well, we got, that's not a real solution. You got to tell me, how are we going to make sure that they enforce these rules with the mental history? let's get rid of the HIPAA law. That's the law that doesn't allow the FBI for the background to go into your medical history. So let's just say we get rid of the HIPAA law. Then we have people who are going to determine whether someone is good to go or not good to go. You see what I'm saying? It's not like it's going to fall into a computer where the computer will look at it and be like, I'm going through this list. They don't fall through this list, so they're good to go. It would be a human person. And every human person thinks of things a little bit differently. So we would be sitting there as to what? A bunch of government psychiatrists who are getting paid to say no. I mean, come on, it's you want to know what would be easier. You want to know what would work easiest. You know how you would stop mass shootings. The next person who commits a mass shooting, if we don't kill you, we're gonna rip you in half in front of everybody in the middle of the street. We're gonna wrap your fucking body with 2 horses or 2 cars and yank it in front of every fucking body. And then we won't speak your name. We'll just show your intestines when we're talking about you on the news. I think the next person is gonna be like, that's some fucking foul shit. I don't want that to happen. I was looking for a book or a fucking Sunday show. Now this girl's about to have a fucking a parade for doing the dumb shit she did. And in the whole shit, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but in the whole shit, yes, there was kids and people that suffered, but I think she probably suffered the most. Because to put herself in that situation, to want them to harm her, to kill her, she was going through a whole lot of shit. She was in a whole lot of pain. So, and it couldn't have been that it wasn't visible. It was visible. And they said that was my number one argument about being parents that are involved with their children. Because if it's that visible, then it's your duty to take charge of that situation.
Stevie, what you think, Stevie?
I think that police have to take a psych evaluation. So I don't see anything wrong with someone who wants to obtain a firearm to have to get a psych evaluation.
I mean, I look at it that way, but you know, I'm listening to his argument.
And I'm not trying to be, I'm just being the pessimist. I'm giving you the other side. I'm not saying that I would fight that completely. Because I would like to be like, yo, fuck it, check my shit. I'm gonna fucking lie any goddamn way. Everything's gonna be fucking roses and burgers. I'm not gonna tell you anything fucked up in my ass, but my background, my history is gonna actually tell you more than I will with any questions.
Which
so
is fine.
That's where I'm at. But I get it. You're like, oh, some people need that. But before those people are even needing that, there's someone, some doctor, some mother, some father, some brother, some sister that actually knew that they was going through something. And if nobody's speaking up, that's a crime.
Right, exactly. And if a doctor or a judge or whatever, they should be held accountable. They should say, you know what, we would have sentenced this guy or this chick, life. We're going to give you 5 years because you went and you gave them the A-OK, you gave them whatever. These politicians will go crazy. They'll be like, oh, we can't do that to our buddy. But you know what? That's what it's going to come down to. That way everybody's held accountable.
Would everyone agree to? I know that the people on the side, like you guys say, I'm this gun nut dude. So the people on my side would say they hate these red flag laws, right? The red flag laws is if somebody says, yo, I think this person is dangerous, come get him, right? And the person that they called on doesn't get to go in front of a judge. The cops go straight directly to your house, remove the firearms.
Right.
And then you have to petition. You have to get yourself a lawyer. You have to have that lawyer petition the court. You have to pay those monies to do all that, which is not fair. Okay.
Right.
Rather than a red flag law, wouldn't it be better to have a mental health law where if you felt somebody was fucked up like that, capable of doing something, rather than the cops just come in taking people's guns, they go there with a fucking evaluator, take a person away or whatever, or do an evaluation there, see if it's something that they need to go pursue further.
Of
I
course.
probably would agree with that, rather than just going to somebody's house and taking their guns because their neighbor's pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think
There-
people have slept on mental health way too long now.
There has been a big problem with that.
You know, so
And I can't say that everybody shouldn't agree, because they should. That mental health with most of these people, and I'm talking nigga, I'm even talking about with the little niggas in the street and these gangs shooting at each other,
of course.
because it's all for real mental health, bro.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if we would have grew up in this generation, we would be out there now shooting people up.
But the problem is that I think that the people in my generation, they're not doing enough to stop this shit.
Exactly.
We're not getting involved more or less with our nephews' friends, and all that shit. When we was growing up, niggas like Junior, Joe, fucking Mike, Mr. Sanchez, these niggas didn't need to do shit for us, but them niggas took us and got us occupied. Even the faggot from the basement. Remember him who used to take us to the Met games and shit, the Yankee games. All those motherfuckers that was older always made sure that the younger niggas was doing something, so we wasn't fucking around in the street doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And It's like everybody in our generation just is like, yo, fuck those little niggas. Let them little niggas do what they want. They're not getting no guidance. But the biggest problem is they're not being taken care of by their parents, man, their families. So.
Yep. That is the truth. All right, I got some work to do.
Yeah, we went past overtime. Plus, we missed all the damn fucking. I had some good shit here.
Well, save it for next week.
Oh man, this one was gonna be a good one. Okay, all right, I'll save it for next week. I think it'll still be funny.
All right.
All right, Mikey.
I'll holler at y'all next week.
All right, brother. Peace.
And I might be going down there. I'll let you know.
Yes. Let me know, because Sunday I'm going to Port St. Lucie.
Okay, I'll let you know.
So just let me know. All right.
Later.
Peace.
Steve.
Going to the game Sunday.
So, Stephen, sorry that we left you and Smokey completely out. This seemed to be a brothers fight, wasn't this show? This show was the brothers fight.
I was happy.
I'm sorry.
No, I was happy.
You know, it's one of those things. We start talking about that. I try to keep an open mind, even though I'm very defensive about it. But I just feel like aren't we supposed to be our brothers' keepers? And we're supposed to be taking care of each other, and it's like we don't. So what would we expect when a dyke got a gripe? You know what I'm saying? What would you expect?
There's the meme for you.
The dyke with a gripe, jumped on a bike. Oh no, that's crazy. I feel bad for her though. That's fucked up. Listen, you could want to go and be this thing, but you know you're putting yourself in a situation to get killed. That can't be a good place to be. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's get the fuck up out of here. Next week we'll smoke and be funny. All right? Peace. And fuck Freeway. I knew he was gonna get himself a trick. I knew he's gonna get himself a trick and just not be able to get back on the show, because he don't want nothing on his lip.